Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sports Blitz here, and we're back with our Week 3 power rankings. Um, there were some upsets in Week 2. Definitely some things I didn't expect. I will say I did call out the Bucks upsetting the Lions, so I was correct about that. So that was cool. Um, I did not expect the Rams to get absolutely destroyed by the Cardinals, so that was crazy. The Saints are a lot better than expected, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes here. What you see on screen right now was last week's power rankings, and I'm just going to go through and adjust them this week as I see fit. So let's go ahead and get on into it. All right. So starting off 32, Panthers are going to stay there. They're really bad. They benched Bryce Young this week. I think it's the right move. I do. I think Bryce Young definitely has some confidence issues right now. He's missing plays that he would have made last year in a worse situation. The offensive line has been significantly better for the Panthers this year. Receivers have gotten more open. And honestly, I think he has a coach now that supports him more, but for some reason, his confidence is just shot right now. And I don't necessarily think this is it for Bryce, but he needs he needs to take the time to sit behind Andy Dalton, watch and study the vet, and maybe down the line he'll get another shot with the Panthers. Maybe next year they bring in another vet or even keep Andy Dalton and compete with them. And if he doesn't look good next year either, maybe they draft a quarterback in 2026, or maybe they are done with him. Maybe they do draft a quarterback next year. Either way, Panthers are in a rough spot. They're number 32. Uh, Giants, I'm going to go ahead and also keep at 31. They did look better this week than they did last week. Daniel Jones, I believe, threw 2 touchdowns, actually. Correct me if I'm wrong, because, I didn't watch the game super closely, but didn't the Commanders win with 7 field goals? Like, that's got to be a new record now, right? Because last week we had the Steelers win with 6. Like, I don't know what's going on. Teams are winning with all field goals now. Kickers are winning games. But, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the Giants there. Again, they did look better, but not good enough to really make them rise on the power rankings. Number 30, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to place the Broncos here. We'll have the Broncos at 30. They played the Steelers, lost to the Steelers. It was a pretty defensive game. I mean, I feel like it was one of those games that, like, yeah, the score was close, but the Steelers were in control. What felt like the whole game. That was kind of the impression I got. Bo Nix is. I wouldn't say he's looking awful, but, and I do think he'll get better. I really do. I think he has a talented arm. I think he has good potential. But as of right now, he's not looking good enough to really win them games. So there's that. Number 29. I'm going to place. I think I go Commanders here. I think I'm trying to think. I don't know if I want to drop the Colts clear down to 29. I think that's a bit much. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Commanders here at 29. Um, Jaden Daniels, I think, has been playing all right. Um, but honestly, I don't think that Commanders defense is real inspiring, if I'm being honest. Um, I really don't think it's great. I mean, Daniel Jones, who I think we all agree isn't a great quarterback, put 2 touchdowns on him. And I don't know. I don't love that defense. Jaden Daniels, like I say, he's good. I think he's gonna be a really good quarterback. I really do. I think he'll get better as the season goes on. But for right now, I think the Commanders deserve 29. At 28, I'm gonna go ahead and put the. I think I'm gonna put the Titans. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put the Titans right here. Um, oh my gosh, if I can get the order right. Okay, yeah, 28. Titans. Will Levis is. Every once in a while, he'll make a really good play, and you're like, okay, he's going to be a great quarterback. And then he makes just a total stupid play the very next play. And it's like, what is going on with this guy? So, super inconsistent. Again, I still see a lot of potential there. Like, he's still got a lot of talent, and I can see him getting better if he keeps playing more. But as of right now, there's too much inconsistency there. So, uh, 27, I'm going to put the New England Patriots. I was wrong. I did predict a New England Patriots upsetting the Seahawks this week. That didn't happen. I believe they only lost by a touchdown though. Um, right? It was no, only a field goal, and it was in overtime. So even closer than I thought. Patriots are playing tough. I could see them getting better throughout the season as Gerard Mayo, has more time with them. Um, I think Jacoby Brissett is managing the game well enough to win games, but it does seem like they're leaning very heavily on their run game, which is what you'd expect. I think that's a really smart thing for them to do right now. So yeah, Patriots at 27. At 26, I'm going to put the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams is not looking amazing right now. Um, it looks like pressure is really getting to him, and I get it. Like, being a Panthers fan, last year I saw it with Bryce Young. Like, the O line gave him zero time. It it was atrocious. Like, watching that Sunday night game, that was pretty consistently how every game for the Panthers was last week or last year. Um, so I get it. Um, like, no quarterback can really do a whole lot with pressure in their face that early. Like, it was almost every single play, pressure, 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 and I get it. That's tough on a young quarterback. So this isn't a knock on Caleb Williams. I think when he does get time, he will be better, but that offensive line has to get significantly better. It's it's not great. I think the defense is really good. The Bears have a really good defense, but I don't think they're gonna win a whole lot of games just from their defense. So 25. I'm actually going to put the Colts right here. Um, oh, whoops, that's the wrong order. Oh my gosh. Okay, Colts. Yep, here at 25. I had higher expectations for them this season. I really did. I thought with how well they did last year and Anthony Richardson getting better, I mean, I get it. This is only Richardson's, what, like sixth game or something? And you can see growth, but every once in a while, like Levis, he kind of makes just stupid plays here and there. Doesn't see defenders. He may try to run in times that you really shouldn't be running. Takes too many hits. But I do think Richardson will get better. I really do. Ever since, like even in the draft, I was actually a big fan of him, and I still think he'll get better. But for right now, I think 25 is a good spot for the Colts. 24, I'm putting the Chargers right here. I think the Chargers could honestly get to be a good team this year. I think running the ball heavy, playing solid defense, and then, having Justin Herbert there in case things start to go a little bad, like, that's going to be a talented team. The only reason I'm really not putting them up very many spots this week is because they played the Panthers, all right? Like, the only teams in the league right now that I think, like, the Panthers may have a shot to beat are, like, the Giants, Broncos, and Commanders. And I'm not even saying they would beat them, just there's a shot. So because who they played, I can't rise them up too much. So 24, I'm going to go ahead and put, let's see. Is 24 too low for the Raiders? I mean, last week I had them at either 29 or 30. So that's still a good 5-6 spots. But I don't know. Is 24 too low for the Raiders? Because, I mean, the Falcons won, the Vikings won, the Saints annihilated their opponent, Cardinals annihilated their opponent. Do I go Bengals? I might go Bengals here. I mean, they got close. They got close to the Chiefs, though. Like, I don't know if I lower them that much. I think I'm going to go Raiders here at 24. I do really like that defense. I think the Raiders have a really talented defense. Been saying this since well before the season. Mainly getting Christian Wilkins. Like, him and Max Crosby are a force up front. Like, that is a talented front. And again, I really want to raise them more, but I still want to see a little bit more from the offense before, putting them much higher. Yeah. Or I guess that'd be 23, right? 32, 31, 30. Okay, so yeah, this would actually be 23. The Chargers were 24. My mistake. 23. But I don't know. Gardner Minshew and the Raiders were able to pull off a win against the Ravens. That was a very impressive win. Because of that, I want to raise them more. All right, I do. This is still a good 6-7 spots up. But, I mean, I still want to see more before I put them into the 16 to 20 category, So, at 22, I'm going to go ahead and put... I'm probably going to piss off a lot of fans here. I'm going to drop the Jags all the way to 22. I'm going to do it. Jags all the way down to 22. They have not been great. Trevor Lawrence has not been great. Honestly, I had higher expectations for this team this season. I really did. I thought they were going to be I thought they were going to be competitive with the Texans for best team in that division. Still thought Texans were going to be the best, but I thought the Jags would at least put up competition. Well, they lost to the Dolphins. They lost to the Browns. Trevor Lawrence just hasn't looked great, you know? He really hasn't. And I feel like that's got to be really concerning for Jags fans. So, yeah, 22 for the Jags. 21. I'm going to go ahead and put the Vikings. And trust me, guys, I want to put the Vikings even higher. I really do. They're in a similar situation to the Raiders. I had them really low at the beginning of the season. I thought they were going to be a bottom 5 team. I really did. I was totally wrong. Sam Darnold is playing really well. Defense is playing better than I expected. So they are outperforming what I expected. But once again, it's only been a 2-game sample size so far. I want to tread lightly with how much I, raise them each week. I think 21 is a pretty respectable spot for them right now, but I could definitely see them going up quite a bit. So, 20, I'm going to put the Bengals. I debated putting the Bengals even lower, but I mean they were competitive with the Chiefs. They were a pass interference call away from beating the Chiefs. And if that would have happened, they would have risen probably 5 or 6 spots instead. So I can't be too terribly critical of them. But I mean, they're 0-2. There does seem to be something wrong with the chemistry between Burrow and Chase. Jamar Chase seems to have some sort of attitude problem going on right now. And I get why he was upset at the ref for that situation, but you're hurting your team, all right? There's something going on there that he's hurting the team. So I don't really know what it is. I don't know if the Bengals are going to turn it around. I think they will. I think they will turn it around because the Bengals tend to start really slow at the beginning of the season. I saw a stat like last week or something that in the Zach Taylor era, the Bengals are 1 and I think now it'd be 1-11 in the first 2 weeks of the season since Zach Taylor's been head coach. That's absurd. But it also kind of gives you hope for like, okay, the Bengals are turning this thing around. So they'll be okay, but for right now I think 20 is a deserved spot for them. 19, I'm going to go ahead and place... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put the Atlanta Falcons right here. I'm going to keep them right there. You could see as their game against the Eagles went on that they were starting to get the chemistry going a little bit. Starting to look a little bit more like the dangerous running and play action team that you expected at the beginning of the season. I think defense is still really talented. Early on, they really struggled against Saquon Barkley and started really defending him really well later on. Because at first, he was running all over them, and then they kind of shut him down for the rest of the game. So, yeah, Falcons starting to put it together a little bit. But there are still some concerns there. So I think 19 is a solid spot right now. But as you guys know, I'm high on the Falcons this year. I think they're gonna get a lot higher in the rankings as the season goes on. So number 18, I'm gonna put the Saints here, and I know Based on their performance, 18 sounds low for the Saints. Okay, I get that 100%. I expected them to be a bottom five team this year, and they have blown out both of their opponents. Panthers, wasn't real impressive, but it's still, an NFL team. 47 points on them is impressive. But then doing that to the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, holy crap. So this had them going up by, I think it was like 10 spots. I think I had them at like 28 or something last week. Really big jump for the Saints. Like, really big jump. Derek Carr is looking great. If they keep it up, they're going to be a real force to be reckoned with. Saints looking really, really good. 17, I'm going to put the Cardinals. Another situation that I didn't think they were going to be good this year. Coming into the season, I thought Kyler Murray was a little overrated. I didn't love their defense. I thought there were going to be growing pains with Marvin Harrison Jr. And I mean that offense has hit the ground running. No pun intended, because Kyler Murray runs a lot, but still, like they're looking good. And I think if they keep it up, they're also going to be a really tough team. Let's see. And then, let's see. So this would be number 17. Hold on. 20, 19, 18, 17. 16 for the Packers. I don't... I'm going to put the Seahawks here instead, actually. I think the Packers deserve a higher spot. I do. Seahawks looking all right. It was an overtime win against the Patriots. They were kind of a team that I thought was going to be middle of the road this season, and that's kind of still my take on them. I know they technically went down a couple spots this week with a win, but I mean, it's because there's other teams around them that have been outperforming and I think deserve higher spots. So I know it's hard to move them down after winning, but I mean, what do you do? 15, I'm going to go ahead and put the Rams right now. I do think the Rams are a better team than 15, but with Puka injured and on IR and Cooper Kupp now injured for a while, I don't know how long. You know, they've got some serious injuries. Their offense is going to look not so great for a little while until they can come back. So things not going well for the Rams right now. At number 14, I'm going to go ahead and put the Steelers. Steelers are 2-0. They're finding ways to win games. It's not pretty, but the defense is looking really good, really impressive. I mean, they've held their opponents to 10 points and 6 points, respectively. So defense looking really good. Justin Fields is making plays here and there. I think he's making the plays he needs to. I'd still like to see a little bit more from him, but I feel like they're running the ball well enough. And again, they're doing enough to win games. So Steelers at 14. I'm going to go ahead and be so bold here to put the Ravens all the way down at 13 here. I'm going to do it. Ravens here at 13. If it'll move, sorry. Yeah. Are the Ravens better than the 13th team in the league? Yeah, they are. But they haven't shown it. They should have beat the brakes off the Raiders. It shouldn't have been that close. And they shouldn't have lost, I think every NFL fan knows that. The Ravens should not have lost that game, but they did. So, until they actually, finish games and get the win, they're going to be just going lower and lower. So, number 12, I'm going to have the Browns. I don't necessarily know that I agree that the Browns are the best team in that division, but I mean, I don't know. I don't really know who else to really put higher than them. I mean, maybe you switch around, maybe put the Steelers above them, maybe even put the Ravens above them. I don't know how much I even agree with those rankings right there. So bear with me there. But I mean, the Browns beat the Jags, a team that I was expecting to be pretty good this year. So, they at least took care of business there. So, at number 11, I'm thinking I'm going to put the Eagles here. I was debating on the Cowboys, actually, but I'm going to put the Eagles. It was a fun game against the Falcons. It really was. Watching Saquon and Bijan Robinson duel it out, it's so fun to watch, okay? I don't know what you guys enjoy most about football, but for me, when there's two like really talented, really elite level running backs facing off, just seeing all the broken tackles, all the nasty jukes and cuts and stuff like that, like it's so fun to watch. And that's how Bijan and Saquon were. I love watching them. Honestly, I think the Eagles lost because of Sirianni. Had they taken that field goal early on instead of going for it on fourth and I think 4, I think it was in the first quarter, if they would have taken the field goal, the Falcons wouldn't have even been able to have that game-winning drive. So and Jalen Hurts wouldn't have even been in that position to throw that game-losing interception. So, I blame Sirianni, and I think that's how they lose. So, Eagles outside of the top 10 this week. So, Dolphins, I'm dropping down to number 10. I debated dropping them even further because of the Tua injury. You gotta feel for the kid, first of all. I mean, this is his like 4th concussion in the last 2 years. You gotta feel for the kid. I really hate to see it. I think he's a good kid. He's a talented quarterback. I'm not gonna say he's like a top tier quarterback, but he's a talented kid. And seeing him get that many head injuries, like I'm sorry, man. How much more do you do before deciding to call it quits? I mean, head injuries are scary, so gotta feel bad for him. And like I say, I wanted to drop the Dolphins even more. I kind of want to see how they do in a game without Tua first before I really, drop them significantly. Because maybe they run the ball well enough with Achan and maybe Mostert comes back that they can control the game enough running. Maybe they get Tyreek Hill involved with jet sweeps more than they normally do. So I wanna pump the brakes a little bit before dropping them too much. Number 9, I am gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys because they did get the brakes beaten off of them by the Saints. Um, yeah, Alvin Kamara absolutely put it to them. Rashid Shaheed had another absolutely massive touchdown. Derek Carr's looking really good. Honestly, the Saints defense is looking solid. Like the Cowboys just got walloped. So dropping them 4 spots here. I guess that's really only 3, but still, I still think they're a good team. Number 8, I'm gonna put. I think I'm gonna put the Packers. I dropped the Packers quite a bit last week because I didn't have confidence in Malik Willis. He didn't throw any interceptions. They ran the ball really, really well against the Colts, and I mean, like, they ran all over the Colts. It was fun to watch. So I am going to move the Packers up to number 8. I do still think they could be maybe even higher than that, but they do have kind of a blocker, or someone not as good at quarterback is what I'm trying to say, with Jordan Love out. So, I can't put him any higher yet, but I mean, I think number 8 is still solid given the situation. Number 7, I think I'm going to put the Jets here. Good defense. Offense is performing well enough. I still don't know what to think about their offense. I really don't. Like, Breece Hall is really talented. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers has Garrett Wilson. I know they've played 2 really, really good defenses these first 2 weeks in the Niners and the Titans. So that's why I'm giving the offense a little bit, of a break here. I don't know what to think about the offense. Like, it's talented. There's some clear pieces there. It's just hard to say. Number 6. I think I'm going to go ahead and... You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put the Lions here at number 6. Have them outside the top 5. I still think they're a really good team, but they lost to the Bucks. They lost to the Bucks, and it was an upset that I called. I haven't heard anything specific on the Amon-Ra St. Brown injury. I don't know how serious that is or if he's expected to miss any time, so that could be something, might not be something. Honestly, the Lions are probably going to get back in the top 5 real quick, honestly. But this is kind of where I want to have them right now. Number 5, I'm going to have the Bills. They've way outperformed what I thought they were going to do this year. I thought with losing Stephon Diggs, Micah Hyde. I don't know why I was thinking Kevin Byard. Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, so many pieces lost for them. I didn't think they were still going to be playing this well. I really didn't. So, got the Bills at number 5. Bucks, actually, I'm going to swap the Bucks and the Bills. I think those two could be interchangeable. Really, I think them and the Lions could be interchangeable right now. But I'm going to have the Bucks actually at number 5 and the Bills at number 4. Baker Mayfield is absolutely cooking. Like, he is playing the best ball of his career right now. He's really settled in Tampa, and it's good to see. It's hard to see as a Panthers fan because, well, he didn't do that well in Carolina, but still, it's good to see him play well, I do like Baker as a person, so. Already went over the Bills, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to put the Niners at 3. I know losing to the Vikings, you'd expect a bigger drop, but I still think they're a really good team, even with the injuries. I'd have to see them play a little bit more before really dropping them more, even with the injuries. So, number 2, I do have the Texans going up 3 spots now. CJ Stroud's really good. That defense is really good. They were pressuring Caleb Williams just about every play. It was really impressive to see. Nico Collins is, I mean, pretty soon we're going to need to start talking about Collins as a top 5 receiver in the league. I'm not saying he's there yet. I do think he's top 10, but man, he is impressive. Really, really good receiver. So, yeah, Texans are just really good right now. And then the Chiefs, I mean, they didn't really do anything to drop any spots this week. Depending on how this next 2 weeks go, I could see the Texans passing them because, I mean, the Chiefs were that close from losing to the Ravens and then also that close to losing to the Bengals. So, I mean, yeah, I get it. They're the defending champions and they're starting 2-0, so I can't drop them, but they're so close. They're so close to falling. And if the Texans really start looking better, like, I'm going to have no choice but to put them over them. But I'm going to be honest, guys. Some of these rankings, I don't know how much I myself agree with. A lot of these are controversial and hard to put together. So I know there's a lot of you that aren't going to agree with them in the comment section. But let me know your thoughts on these rankings. Again, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Later.